Hey, I'm Gretchen Rubin, coming to you live from my apartment in New York City. And while I am waiting for my sister and co-host of the Happier podcast to join me, Elizabeth Kraft, tell me, where are you watching from in the world? Because we always love to see that. And also, did you do the challenge for yesterday? Let us know in the comments. And here I'm gonna add Elizabeth. There she is. Waiting for where are you? Oh, Santa Fe. Oh, I love Santa Fe. I just was there, New Jersey. Oh, hey, Elizabeth.
Hi. Hey.
Hey, everyone.
Hi.
Oh, what have you got on?
I've got on my Encino t-shirt.
Excellent.
Shout out to Encino. Everybody's shouting out their towns where they are. Yeah. So I thought I would shout out Encino. And also, Gretch, I've got my Gilson's mug today. This is our local grocery store.
Yes, I've been there.
Shout out to everybody working there. We really appreciate it. Yeah. So I have a mug for everything, Gretchen, even for Gilson.
You truly do. You're the person. You have the mug for every occasion.
Italy, Milwaukee.
We got Charleston, Medford. I know it's mesmerizing at Louisville. I don't know. I can't take my eyes off of it.
Yeah.
Somebody says your hair looks great today, Liz. Mine does not. That's good. You know.
Thank you. I tried another new product, Gretch. I'm
there you go.
Continuing the hair product challenge.
You're really embracing that challenge. So yesterday we talked about our book club, and Elizabeth, we're going to figure out what our next book club choice is. So keep posting any suggestions. I have an idea, Elizabeth, that I will propose to later.
Ooh, exciting.
But we also had our podcast our latest episode of the podcast went live yesterday. And so one of the things that I wanted to throw out to listeners and viewers is we talked about the idea of writing a letter of congratulations to your future self. So this is the idea that you write a letter saying, hey, Gretchen, congratulations on finishing the manuscript of your book about aphorisms. You didn't know that you could do it in such a, and so you're congratulating yourself about something that you've already done, even though you haven't done it yet. And you're very, very specific. And it's not about, I hope I will, I anticipate, I'm dreaming. It's like I did, I accomplished. And the idea is you put yourself in that frame of mind and kind of look back. And that's a way to identify kind of things that you could do.
Well, Gretch, one thing I liked about it is the suggestion you had that people sort of shout out what was hard. Like, it was hard to, go to the gym when you didn't want to, but you did it, and now you ran that marathon, and you battled those, whatever.
Or you knew that the holiday season was going to be tough, but you made a plan, and you did this, and you did this, and you did this, and you did this, or you knew it was going to be hard on your birthday.
You don't like confrontation, but you asked your boss for a raise.
Yeah, exactly. Someone said, I love the idea of the future self and a letter to yourself in the future. I put these on my calendar. That's great.
And someone said, and this was our next comment, is they said, I thought you were going to say write a letter for when this is over, and we were talking about adapting this future self letter for this period. Write a letter to your future self when this social distancing is behind us.
Yeah, and when people are sort of back to work. Right, because Elizabeth, in calmer times, you and I had expected to go away on spring break. We had recorded some episodes in advance. So that episode we recorded before the whole COVID-19 situation presented itself, which is kind of unbelievable now how quickly things have changed. But so only now do we realize this is really helpful. And I actually think it might even be more helpful because I think it's more immediate. And that people are sort of like, okay, I'm behaving in a certain way right now because sort of all my habits are disrupted. My whole family's in my house. I'm working remotely or I've lost my job or whatever it is. Yeah. But it's going to be different. It's not going to be a year. We don't know how long it's going to be. That seems more concrete to me.
Yeah, no, I think it's almost bizarre that this was our topic.
Yes.
When you consider how perfectly it goes with what we're dealing with now, which funnily someone in the comments called it the toilet paper crisis.
Yeah.
But I mean, I know for me, because I've talked about using the apocalypse loophole for all habits, that this idea of writing a letter to myself is, powerful, because I don't want to end up worse off than I was before in terms of my health, my weights, et cetera, my work. So I need to do this and see if it helps me.
Well, because for the next 10 years, we're going to be thinking like, my gosh, why didn't I do this during the pandemic?
Yeah.
Like right now, it feels like, how could I do anything? And then we're going to be like, I had nothing else to do. It's like one of these weird things where,
yes.
And also I think some people are super, super busy. And then some people aren't super busy. And then some people have kids and some people don't have kids. And some people, so there's so many different situations.
And my thing is, I don't want to put someone says it's easy to slide back in times like this. And it is. Yeah. And I don't want to stress myself that I need to accomplish so much. Yeah. I just don't want to come out of this worse in terms of where I was at.
Right, exactly. Somebody said, I'm going to do this letter. I worked full-time as a teacher and wrote my first book. See, that's great. It's like, it's already in the future. And so you're projecting yourself into that way. But listen, we were talking about the snacking, and you could imagine somebody, and I actually got an email from somebody who said that was her thing, is that she was going to get a grip on the, on night snacking. And she was very determined. She didn't put it in the context of this, but I think that's kind of a perfect example, because it is very concrete. And you could imagine you'd say like, dear Elizabeth, congratulations on quitting night snacking. For years, this has been something you struggled with, but you decided this was the moment you were going to break the habit, and you decided you were going to do this and this and this and this. And you a couple times you messed up, and one time you were eating chips before you even realized they were in your mouth, and yet you persevered. And by the end of this, like when your door opened and you walked outside again, to clapping crowds of thousands, you did it. And so it is a very it's kind of an exciting thing to think about.
Yeah. But again, I don't want to say, oh, I'm going to accomplish something I've never accomplished. I'm just trying to very much say, during this time, you did not, you know what I'm saying?
Yes. You don't want to start smoking again or something like that, where it's like you're backsliding. You're losing ground.
Well, a teacher just said, by the way, Gretchen, does anyone just have moments where they cry? Because I think teachers are so overwhelmed.
Yes, they are. Yes. And so many people are clamoring for their attention, and
yes, we're the moms who are teaching are overwhelmed, and that'd be another thing to put in my letter. You got through the remote learning, and you managed to stay focused and make sure Jack actually did do the science experiments, even though you have no idea how to do them. And, I would include that.
Yes. That's great.
For teachers, maybe write a letter to yourself, just patting yourself on the back. I mean, teachers are asked to do now something they've never done.
Yes.
And with no warning almost. And I mean, I know it's for Jack's teachers, it's, they get parents calling them all day. And it's
they're like an IT professional now.
Yes. Yeah. So thank you to the teachers. Yeah. Oh, and they miss their students, someone says. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and maybe that's a good kind of letter on its own. It's just like, hey, Gretchen, congratulations on getting through the stressful time of the safe at home part of the pandemic. And here's the 5 things that you did. You managed to stay on speaking terms with every member of your family. You managed to mop the kitchen floor regularly. You whatever it is that you feel like, I really just want to come out of it. I mean, so you're right. It's not like I'm going to learn to play the guitar. It's like I kept the dishwasher loaded and unloaded on a regular basis. Yeah. Whatever.
And I think some people will learn to play the guitar or will learn a language, and that's who they are. Yes. But I also think a lot of people I've seen are feeling bad about themselves that they don't have these goals, lofty goals. And it's just surviving is an accomplishment, even though, yes, we're lucky that we're at home and safe, but it is a stressful time for like everyone in the entire world.
Yes, yes.
So,
and if you're just joining us, it's Gretchen Rubin and Elizabeth Kraft. We're the hosts of the Happier podcast, and we're talking about the idea, which we talked about on the yesterday's episode of the Happier podcast, about writing a letter to your future self, and this idea of writing a letter to your future self that's like you would open at the time of the end. What are we calling this? It's not really a quarantine.
I know it feels like it though.
Yeah, but some people call it a quarantine or a lockdown. It's not really a lockdown. It's safe at home, stay at home. I don't know.
It is sort of a shutdown. I mean, everything
shut down.
Down.
Maybe it's the shutdown. Well, whatever. Put in the comments what you think is the right term for this. But see, here's somebody saying, I'm working from home and working way more. My husband lost his job, so he has so much time. We are both having challenges managing our schedules. Again, it's like, that's a huge burden. That's so many changes and so many worries to deal with at one time. And then maybe sort of thinking like, okay, what would it look like to get to the end of this? And like you say, maybe this is like a to-do list. It's like your future to-do list. Mm-hmm. What is it that I'm going to get out? What do I want to get out of this? Kind of minimum daily allowance again, like, and to feel good about it, or to feel like, yeah, I was doing things right. Yeah.
People have so many good names, Gretch. One, we talk about season of sacrifice. Someone called it epic season of sacrifice.
Yes. Yes.
Someone called it cocooning, which is a reframing.
That is a
nice way. Pandemic, is always a clear way to describe it.
Maybe it's domesticity. Pandomesticity.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Someone else said corona apocalypse, which
yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Someone else says, my husband and I are both working full-time from home. We have 3 kids and are trying to homeschool. 1 kid is a toddler. I mean, that is...
how do you do that?
Yeah, I was just Zooming with somebody and like her dog came in, then her 2 kids came in. Yeah, I mean, it's just like...
And if you're an only parent of a small child, I mean, you have zero help. I don't know how anyone is managing.
Well,
it's really tough.
I was talking to a friend who has a 2-year-old, and a 2-year-old is like far enough along to be actually dangerous because they could like climb to the top of a bookcase. But they're not big enough to be interested in something like watching 12 hours of a television show the way a 4-year-old would. Yes. You know what I mean? Like they want you. And anyway, that's hard. But somebody says, okay, and this is how the tendencies are coming in. Someone says, rebel here. So many school expectations need to be dialed back. Well, that's another thing that's being layered in this. It's like we have our expectations for ourselves, but then we have the other expectations for our children. And I think the teachers themselves are trying to understand what's realistic, what's required. You know what I mean? Different school districts are trying to figure out, well, what are even the school days that we're going? It's all extremely confusing and uncertain. If you don't know what we're talking about with Rebel, take the quiz at quiz.gretchenrubin.com and find out what you are, because I do, a lot of teachers are saying how they miss their students. Oh, yeah, teachers and healthcare workers are heroes. Absolutely, absolutely.
Yes.
School year in Michigan just got canceled today. Okay, yeah, I mean, this is a time to be radically kind to ourselves and others. Absolutely, that's true. Here's the thing, though. There is this tension between wanting to be kind to yourself and not put pressure on yourself. 100%, I get it. It is true, though, that what we do now has consequences for the future. And there's always today, but today, and eventually today. You know, it's like Alice in Wonderland. Jam yesterday and jam tomorrow, but never jam today. There will be jam today someday. Not today, not next week, but it will come. And you don't want to feel like, as you said, Elizabeth, you don't want to feel like you're far worse off in ways that you can control. Maybe there are things you couldn't control.
Yeah, I mean, there's things like financially.
Yeah, you can't
control that. Control over that.
Yeah.
But one thing, Gretchen, I think it's how do you define kindness? I mean, that's part of it, is being kind to yourself, letting yourself eat chips and salsa all day, which is what I was doing, or is it not letting yourself? Is it kinder to let yourself not let yourself eat chips and salsa all day?
But see, that's a brilliant question. Now, this is reminding me of something that we love to talk about, healthy treats, which is treat yourself, but but if you can give yourself healthy treats, then maybe you don't need the unhealthy treats, because unhealthy treats are very easy to reach for. You know, it's the brownie, it's the extra glass of wine, it's the chips. But then there are healthy treats, which is maybe like, you know, wearing perfume or going to smell a bottle of vanilla, or, you know, watching a favorite episode of The Office, or, you know, doing a crossword puzzle, what it would be for you. And so if you have a list of healthy treats, like maybe I was talking, when I did the Katie Couric live a couple days ago, she was saying how she just loves to be in her pajamas and be in bed and like scrolling through the internet and social media and just kind of like starting the day slow. And I imagine, she didn't say this, but I'm imagining, because probably like as a news person, she got up incredibly early and like had to hit the ground running, and like on. And now this like lazy days, that felt like a treat to her. Well, that's a wonderful treat, because that is something that she can do right now.
Yes.
And if it feels luxurious, then that's wonderful. And I would love to know, what are other people's ideas of healthy treats? Because I do think when you have healthy treats, you get that feeling of comfort and energy. And so maybe it's easier to say to yourself, you know what, I really would be better off not having this, or not having the extra brownie, or not baking the 15th loaf of bread, which seems to be something a lot of people are doing. So for some people, baking bread could be a healthy treat. That could be a healthy treat. Healthy treats really depend on the person, but for other people, it's like, no, I don't want another freshly baked, delicious loaf of bread for me and like, you know, my one child to eat, or whatever it is. Yeah.
By the way, Mom said hi, Gretchen. She's watching.
Oh, hey, Mom. Oh, that's so nice. So Mom and Dad are doing a very cool thing, which is every day they're having one official treat. They usually eat incredibly healthfully, but they're having one treat. And I have to say, I get so much pleasure. I really look forward to the reveal. Like, what's it going to be? And like, I have my own like suggestions of what it should be. And so I think, you know, that it's like, then you celebrate it. It's once a day. You look forward to it. It's limited. That's like,
it's keeping them from all the other stuff, which is super smart. Yeah.
Yes. And it's kind of like, it's like, you know, they drive and we'll pick it up or whatever usually. And so it also is like a little kind of adventure, breaks up the day. There's a lot of reasons why that's good.
Oh, someone is saying Mom's night out on Zoom is her treat. That's a good connecting with people.
That's a wonderful.
Someone else is doing cardio while listening to us, Gretchen. So I'm all for that treat.
Yeah, that's an extremely healthy treat. Someone says, play guitar, go for a walk, take a bath, paint nails, organize photos. Now, see, I think for a lot of people, organizing photos wouldn't feel like a treat.
No.
It would be something like a letter of congratulations, like, hey, Gretchen, congratulations on finally dealing with your year-long backlog of photographs, because that's been hanging over your head for months. You know,
I have a 10-year backlog.
I mean, they're kind of, I mean, we're just all, you know, citrus is on the trees here in Arizona. That's beautiful. Like, for me, the Central Park now is so spectacular. It's peak flowering trees. It's just unbelievable, and that has been just such a lovely. Oh, somebody says this is a treat. Oh, thank you. We would love to be here.
Nice. Thank you. Someone does an Epsom salt bath after a workout. Yeah. For anyone who likes a bath, as we've discussed, this must be like prime bath time of your life. Like, if I had a big bathtub right now, like, we don't even have a bathtub in our bathroom because Adam and I don't take baths. But like, if I had one right now, I would be taking a bath.
Yeah, you could do your live conversation from the bathtub.
Like, you could.
Somebody was saying, my son was looking for yeast to make pizza dough and the store was out of it. Yes, somebody observed to me that one of the funny things about this is you realize that everything that you have the impulse to do, everybody else has the impulse to do. So like, I'm doing these virtual strength training, and you can't buy any of the stuff that he recommended because it was sold out. And Mom tried to buy us my daughters love jigsaw puzzles, and she tried to send us one as like a present. You can't buy a jigsaw puzzle, and you can't buy yeast because apparently everybody's getting into bread baking. So that is very funny.
The thing that everyone is buying here in LA is something called a Papa Shot, and it's a thing where you throw a basketball into a little hoop, and it's like an arcade game.
Oh.
So we bought one and we're trying to figure out where to put it now to keep the kids active.
Oh, that's good. That's great.
Yeah.
Everybody has the same problem. I guess toys.
But like 7 people I know have gotten them, and I'm like, eventually these are same things going to happen. They're not going to be available.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're just joining it, it's Gretchen Rubin and Elizabeth Kraft of the Happier Podcast. And we are talking about, first of all, writing a letter to your future self. What are you going to congratulate yourself for after this COVID-19 period? And also, what are your healthy treats? Because I think we can really learn from each other. Sometimes you can get great ideas for healthy treats from other people. And that's great because you want to have, healthy treats so that when you feel like, ooh, I need a treat. I always want to read children's literature. That's one of my treats. And so put a thumbs up if you saw the TV show Russian Doll. I was obsessed with Russian Doll. Oh, no. But this is not Russian Doll. Russian Doll had Emily of New Moon. I saw it. Okay. But if you saw the movie A Marriage Story,
I didn't see it.
In A Marriage Story, there is the briefest flash of a book called Mrs. Coverlet's Magicians. But it's not this cover. It's a bright pink cover. That book, I had forgotten that I remembered it, and I remember every word of it. And so, of course, I went to buy it used. And I got one that has the wrong cover, which is very sad to me. But I was like, today, I'm like, you know what? I need a treat. I'm going to reread Mrs. Coverlet's Magicians. It was 1961. It's like aimed at 4th graders. I'm so happy. I remember everything about it.
Wow, that's fun.
In my memory.
That's a good treat.
It's a wonderful, wonderful treat. It just totally, my mood just shot through the ceiling. It made me so happy.
The treat I just downloaded for myself, Gretchen, which is probably going to be depressing, but I consider it a treat nonetheless, is the companion podcast to the HBO series Chernobyl.
I really respect the fact that you were so enthusiastic about Chernobyl because I feel like it reveals a deeper soul and a higher intellect.
Well, it's good television, and I love good television.
Yeah.
So, and I love good podcasts, and I've heard the podcast that goes with it is great. So
who does it?
It's like the creator and other people. It's not like binge mode. I heard there's a new binge mode. Well,
they're starting to do Q's and A's, like they call it Ask the Underscore. Yes, I've listened to it. So what is your treat podcast? Put it in the comments.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody is looking for great new podcasts. Family Secrets new season started up. That's great. There's put the podcast in there because I think that can be a really delicious 20,000 Hertz is a great. I like it kind of interesting information like cautionary tales or 99% invisible or 20,000 Hertz. It's like, it's interesting, but it's not emotional. Like it's just, I find it very calming.
A lot of good podcasts being mentioned here.
Yes.
The Financial Diet. That sounds like a good one right now.
No.
I definitely realize even as an underbuyer, I buy a lot of stuff I don't need. I'm realizing that right now because I'm not buying really anything because we're just home. And I'm like, wow, I really don't need to buy a lot.
Like what kind of stuff do you buy?
I don't know. I mean, it's what we talk about, the coffee at Starbucks.
That kind of thing. Right. Yes.
Just grazing through the pharmacy, CVS and buying stuff. And I don't know, like, as we've discussed, shampoo when you already have 3 bottles of shampoo. And,
I think that the research that's going to come out of this is going to be absolutely fascinating because I'm sure that there's all kind of data scientists just analyzing all these patterns and you can compare and contrast consumer behavior in different parts of the country at different times. And I mean, I'm sure that there's going to be a lot that's learned, which will be
so many podcasts. Trevor Noah's.
So
many.
Oh, Brene Brown's. I haven't listened to that yet. I know that that's launched, and I have been wanting to see that. How We Got to Now. That's it with Stephen Johnson. I just read 2 of Stephen Johnson's books, so I feel like I've got him talking in my head. That would actually be interesting to literally have him talking in my head. Somebody said, what was the book? Oh, the book I mentioned is called Mrs. Coverlet's Magicians by Mary Nash. It's super charming. It's like a middle grade book. It has magic in it. I love it. You know, is it the greatest work of children's literature? No. Is it a book that I loved as a child and I still love? Yes, it is.
For me, that's like the Pistachio Prescription.
Oh,
for whatever reason,
I
just love that book.
Oh my gosh, we still have that. That's still in the bunny room in Mom and Dad's house. Yes, so I love that. Well, those are the problem novels of the 70s, which were such a delight, of course. Oh, can you compile a list of these podcasts? I know I'll forget. I made a list of podcasts that I recommend for listening for the whole situation. So that's on my site. If you go there, that's a bunch of the ones that we love. Yeah. Oh, somebody says Brene Brown's excellent. Okay, that's good. That's right.
By the way, Gretchen, someone just said they're sad the library's closed because they're out of books, but you can still check out books digitally. I've been told from libraries. So she should figure that out, because you can still check out books. They're just not physical books.
Yes. Yeah. No. And yeah, there's a lot of things about that. And I should have mentioned that if you go to my my site is GretchenRubin.com. So just like search GretchenRubin.com/podcast COVID-19 or something, and you'll find it. Yeah. Well, it was funny to read about, because I ran out and went to the library in the last days, and Mom and Dad had armfuls of books. And it's always funny when you realize, you think this is your brilliant insight, and then it's all across the country, libraries were reporting 4 times, 10 times the number of books circulating at that last minute. And now I'm happy because I had an overdue book, but now I get to keep it for
yes, yeah, a lot of overdue books out there, definitely.
Oh, people keep raising Island of the Blue Dolphins, maybe because it's a book about being stuck in a certain place and making do. Yeah, if you want to feel lucky about your situation now, read Island of the Blue Dolphins, because she's making friends with wolves and sewing herself a skirt out of feathers, and it's oh yeah, someone says Libby for library books, highly recommend. Overdrive. Libby. Yeah. Okay. This is great. Yeah. Libby. Or digital audio and Kindle books from the library. Yes. We have lots of ebooks at the library, but long wait list. Well, one thing is, this is the funny thing about wait lists. Somebody give me a thumbs up if you have this. I don't like going on wait lists because I don't like to wait, but obviously if you don't go on a wait list, you're going to be waiting longer than if you do go on a wait list and wait. This is so irrational, and yet over and over, I find myself kind of having that thought. I don't want to wait. I remember one time I went on a trip, and I so badly this was when you would drop off film at a camera store.
Yes.
I so badly wanted the photographs to be developed. I wanted them so badly that I never took them to the store because I couldn't stand waiting for them to be developed. And it's
there must be a name for that, Gretch.
Irrationality.
It's the same thing. I have that sometimes. Well, I don't want to take my clothes to the dry cleaner because I don't want to wait to get them back, but I'm not wearing them. If they're not at the dry cleaner, I can't wear them anyway.
Wait, so you've done this too? This is not just me.
No, okay, we got to think it's a psychological phenomenon.
You're the clever namer. What do you name this?
Oh boy.
An indefinite wait is better than a I don't know. Put in, anybody has any good idea, put it in. And put a thumbs up if you have this. I truly thought I was the only one who had this list. I'm very excited.
No, I think a lot of people have that. Yeah. Well, it's just I don't want to make a reservation at that restaurant because it takes a month to get in. But again, if you don't make a reservation, you're not going. So,
right. Exactly. Yeah. Okay, thumbs up if you've had this feeling. But see, and here's somebody saying that it makes good sense, because somebody says being on the wait list takes the book off my mental load. It is then a nice surprise when it is my turn. Well, many people have said they like the wait list in a way because then it's surprise. It's like getting a present in the mail. It's oh, now I have this book.
It's my turn.
Yeah, and it's sort of surprise and it's fun. And I'm that's such a better way to frame it. Surprise, my dry cleaning's back. I want that white blouse again. This is my lucky day. And
of course, inevitably, I don't pick it up until 5 days after it's ready anyway. So I really didn't need it. But
I know. Someone says this is important time to support indie bookstores now if you can afford it. Yes. And there's a site I want to make sure that everybody knows about. If you don't have your favorite indie bookstore that you always go to, there's a site that is pretty new, but is getting tons of traffic called bookshop.org. And what it is it will help you find a bookstore that is taking online orders now, whether for pickup if you live in the same city, or if you don't live in the same city, that they will ship it to you. And many bookstores are really getting a lot of support from people ordering online. So so bookshop.org is a clearinghouse for that. If you don't already have one that I think some of them are just closed altogether. They're not taking orders. They're not open for business, but some are filling orders, or at least some orders. So that's a great, bookshop.org. Yeah, this is great. Thank you for reminding that. Someone's saying, finding that my library is buying more than twice as many audiobooks and ebooks right now, and I'm loving it. Oh, that's interesting.
Oh, that's smart of them.
Yeah.
Gretch, someone else just mentioned, and I saw this, you'll like this, that Dolly Parton is going to start reading stories every night.
Tonight. April 2nd is her first one. And Elizabeth, the first book is a book that we read so many times as children.
What?
The Little Engine That Could.
Oh, one of my favorites. And I read that to Jack a million times.
So how great is it going to be to have Dolly Parton reading?
Oh,
she is amazing.
Such a good idea.
She's amazing. I can't get enough of Dolly Parton. Oh, and did you see, okay, for people who are deep in Dolly Parton land, okay, if you listen to Jad Abumrad's Dolly Parton's America, he talks about how he got to Dolly Parton because his father was a doctor who treated Dolly Parton after she was in a mild car crash, and they became friends. Well, Dolly Parton just donated, I think, either $1 million or $5 million to Vanderbilt, where he is, because he's spearheading all this research into the COVID-19. So I was like, oh my gosh, my mind is exploding. I don't know these people. And I'm like, oh, that's so nice. It's like,
yes, Dolly Parton always can bring us some joy.
Dolly Parton can always bring us joy. I know. I hope she's staying all by herself and not letting anybody come talk to her. She seems very extroverted, but I hope Dolly Parton needs to stay home.
She needs to be healthy.
She needs to be healthy. Okay, so let's do the accountability check-in.
Yeah.
Okay, accountability check-in. There was something I was going to do, and now I can't remember it. I can never remember the accountability check-in.
I know.
Everybody else do their accountability check-in.
Yes.
We're trying to think of what the challenge was. What was her challenge?
The challenge. I did the challenge.
I did the challenge. I did them.
I did too. So what did you wear?
A very nice pair of plaid pajamas, which somehow have been shoved to the back of the shelf, and so I just didn't circulate them, and so I pulled them out, and it really was nice to have something fresh to wear.
We should remind everyone, yesterday we do a small challenge every day, and it was to wear a pair of pajamas that you haven't worn for a long time.
Yeah, mine
were pajamas, Gretchen, that I actually have talked about on the show because I love them so much, which is pajamas that have shorts instead of pants.
Yes.
So I get in the habit of just pulling on a t-shirt, you know, and so I just made a point of, instead of pulling on a t-shirt, pulling on my short pajamas, and they were so lovely and comfortable. And I thoroughly enjoyed the challenge.
That's good. So folks, give us a gold star if you did that, or a gold star if you did any of your own accountability. People are saying what their accountability. Lifting weights at home, that's a great one. How many people have dusty weights? I think many people have a pair of weights underneath some random bedroom.
Yes, I pulled ours out yesterday.
Oh, you did? There you go.
5-pounders. Yes.
Oh, pajamas. Look at all these people doing pajamas. Somebody says, I'm going to blow dry my hair tomorrow. See, that's what we call a realistic challenge. There you go. Jog today. Excellent. Excellent. Dolly is the best
no
human.
Snack burst last night, somebody says. And I also did not do a snack burst last night.
You didn't?
No. So that's 2 nights in a row.
And how did you get yourself not to do it? Because that is really hard habit for you.
I really just think it's the accountability, here of just wanting to be able to report that I didn't do it. Yeah. That simple.
Yeah.
It's not high-minded.
No, but obligers, it's accountability. And that's why we do this accountability check-in because, I want to do that. Our eyes are on you.
Yes.
That's the symbol. because for obligers, it's really important to have that that accountability. And so we want to give you finish cleaning my desk, driveway fitness. Ooh, I like that. Driveway fitness.
Oh, 2-hour-long walks. Wow. I walked for an hour on the treadmill and I thought that was good,
that's great.
I should be doing more.
Oh, no snack bursts for me. Hard to do.
Hard to do.
Using up all my doing my 20 for 20 walking every day. Yeah, so this is accountability meant because for obligers, they do feel like they're more likely to follow through if they feel like somebody's paying attention and holding them accountable. And if you don't know if you're an obliger, or you don't know if you're a rebel or a questioner or an upholder, that's the four of the four tendencies, you can take my quiz at quiz.gretchenrubin.com. Oh, and I wanted to remind people, if you want to get my newsletter, if you go to gretchenrubin.com/newsletter, you can sign up for it. And you can also sign up for the Moment of Happiness, which is the happiness quotations that I send every day. That is one thing that I've been doing as kind of my treat, which is I have a bazillion quotations in all kinds of places. And I'm slowly trying to consolidate them and like track down the references and sort of get them cleaned up because I've been more or less diligent about it, and I've been kind of disorganized about it. So that's something that's both a treat and then is also kind of something that it would be good to do.
Yes.
But I love the Moment of Happiness newsletter. It's like I get to promulgate these quotations, which I love.
Well, and I
so
think
much.
now people are really looking for that even more than usual.
Yeah, it's nice to have something kind of beautiful and transcendent in your inbox, and so it's just gorgeous. I love it.
Gretch, one of our viewers just said, "I need a mantra," and I'm just wondering if we should, like, not today, but tomorrow or another day. Next week, pick our COVID-19 mantra.
Ooh, that's a good one. Yes. Okay. A COVID-19 mantra.
Maybe Monday we should talk about our COVID-19 mantra, so we have some time to think about it.
And I should say, I'm going to have Rachel Hollis is going to be a guest. Elizabeth's going to get a day off, and I'm going to talk to Rachel Hollis on Tuesday, April 7th. So
I can't wait for that because I find her very motivating and inspiring.
Yes. She has 4 children, or maybe 5 children. I have a friend who has 5. Either she has 4 or she has 5. And she's like got a team of 60. And I was talking to her today because I'm going to be on her podcast also on Tuesday, April 7th. And we did a conversation, and she was talking about managing all this. And I was like, wow, I have it easy because that's a lot going on.
Yeah.
So she says, I love Rachel Hollis. Yeah. Oh, good. This is great. Yeah, no, it was really fun. She is really fun to talk to. So I'm really excited about that. She has 4 children. That's right. Yeah. My friend Laura Vanderkam, if you like Laura Vanderkam, who I also love her podcast and her books, she has 5. One of them is 3 months old. So
wow.
The oldest is 12. So
wow.
She's amazing. Yes. Okay. So the accountability, this is great. It's so fun to see what everybody's being accountable for. Well done, everybody. It's so great.
Yes.
Gold stars. Give yourself a gold star. Yeah. So our challenge for tomorrow is to think of something that you are going to congratulate yourself for at the end of this, and make yourself write a little note to yourself. It doesn't, this is we're keeping it low. We're keeping it easy, so you don't have to like type up a letter, but just like think it through. What is it that you want to congratulate yourself for, and put it in the past tense. I did this. So I think I'm going to do. I did my aphorism book because that is kind of work and kind of fun. So I'm gonna say, Gretchen, congrats. I think I'm gonna do that. Elizabeth, are you gonna think of something?
I'm thinking of something. Yeah, it'll be something related to eating, body, lighter, health. Something.
Oh, that's your word for the year. Is lighter.
Lighter is my word for the year. So it'll be lighter related, but I'm not exactly sure yet what words I'm gonna put it into.
Yeah.
And then we should remind everyone, Gretch, tomorrow is Ask Us Anything Day.
Oh, yeah, because tomorrow's Friday. Yes, it's so easy to lose track of the days. Thumbs up if you are having trouble keeping track of the days of the week.
It's,
I am.
So hard.
Yeah. my daughters, because they're back in school, I think they are now back in knowing what day it is, because but for me it's hard. Yeah, I'll look at all these thumbs up. Yep. Yes, tomorrow's Ask Us Anything, so ask us anything. That's always so fun. And all right, let's keep our hands clean and our minds clear. Talk to you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.